Hello everybody. So it's already close to the end of 2020 and in December I always get really excited to plan and think about what I'm going to be doing next year, because by this time I'm already kind of tired of the goals of 2020. I'm really excited to start working on a new project. So I've already come up with my goals, I've already thought about them and planned them, and I wanted to talk about them a little bit in this video. So I know that I'm wearing a jacket right now. It's because it's very cold and I've just turned the heater on, so I might take my jacket off halfway through the video. So for next year, 2021, I have 4 main projects to be working on. I'm just gonna talk about them in general a little bit, in no particular order. So the first one is to pick up my Japanese studies again, because I was supposed to pick up Japanese again this year, but I got kind of overwhelmed with all my other goals during the summer, and I just figured I'd leave it for next year and make it a priority in 2021, and give myself a bit more time this year to work on other stuff. So Japanese is going to be one of my priorities. I studied Japanese for 2 years, but I forgot most of it, so I think I'm back at an A1 level right now. Like, I can have basic conversations, but we'll just say that I'm A1. So the idea is to get to a B1 level by the end of 2021, so that I can have more decent conversations, as well as reading 600 kanji. Like, I already know hiragana and katakana. I'm around at 200 kanji more or less now, but I would like to at least get to 600 by the end of the year so I can read basic texts. So that's my goal for Japanese, and I have a bit of a plan on how I'm going to study that. I have like my reading materials already prepared, and the books that I used to use when I went to Japanese classes. So basically I want to have everything just as prepared as possible and ready, so I can just start January 1st and not have to kind of get caught up in trying out different resources. I just want to start strong, start quick, and have everything ready for them. So I'm really excited to finally be picking up my Japanese again and hopefully reach a more decent conversational level. During next year I will maybe publish 3 or 4 videos over the course of the year, just kind of speaking in Japanese, so that you can see where I'm at and how I'm moving forward. So my other goal is also related to Japan, so I'm going to mention this one now, and that is to pick up my travel consulting business. And so my travel consulting business is something that I started 2 years ago, but it was very difficult for me to kind of make a decent income from that, so I kind of pushed it aside and went to get a real job, a full-time job, and I was hoping to pick up my consulting business maybe 5 years down the line from now, but the other day I made a comment on Reddit and I went to sleep, and when I woke up I had 7,000 upvotes and my inbox was just flooded with people who wanted me to help them plan their trips to Japan. So I've kind of picked up that travel consulting again, and I know that next year I'm going to have to put quite a bit of time into doing this again. So I'm really excited. It was something that I really love to do and I just couldn't really do it at the time, so it's a new opportunity, and I think that's going to be kind of the main hobby or the thing that I'm going to be doing in my free time next year. And project number 3 is YouTube. The initial idea was to do 1 video every week, but it might be difficult to do it every single week, like 52 videos a year. So I'm just going to try and do at least 3 videos a month, and if I can go for more, I will do more. So the reason I stopped kind of being consistent with YouTube was because I was finding it a bit stressful to kind of have to sit down every single weekend and film a video. So I'd spend basically all my free time every week working on videos that I knew I would have to put up on Saturday. But I've already pre-recorded some videos that will go up, so hopefully this second attempt I won't have to kind of be stressed about meeting a deadline, because I know that I will already have some videos backed up that are scheduled and that will go online first. So I can kind of do videos more at my own pace, and hopefully this will be less stressful. I would like to work on improving one thing with every video to kind of fight back on perfectionistic tendencies. I'm not trying to make every video perfect, but I want to make sure that every video that I'm posting is improving a little bit from the last video. And finally, the 4th project goal that I have is to focus on my happiness. And I guess it's a bit odd for me to write this down, because I usually only have New Year's resolutions on things that have a final product, we could say. This year I started working from home because obviously I couldn't really go into the city with the whole coronavirus situation, and I found that working from home has had a negative effect on my lifestyle. I was much more disciplined when I was going into the office, because like if I have to take the 6 a.m. train, then I know I have to get up at 5:30 a.m. or I'm not going to catch it, so I wouldn't sleep in. I'd just turn my alarm clock off and get out of bed straight away. But now that I work from home, I know that my work starts at 9 at the latest, so I can get up at 8:55 if I want, and I always keep setting my alarm clock early but waking up later and later and later. I'm feeling generally lazier, because I used to use the 2 hours that I had of my commute to do stuff during that time, but now I just get home and I'm not really working on my goals this year that much. So generally it hasn't been great for me to work from home. But next year I would like to make sure I have a healthy lifestyle, even if I'm working from home or staying at home all day. So the ideas here, because the thing is, I already know what I have to do to improve my life. It's not a secret, it's just I don't do them. So the idea is to do more exercise, or just do exercise, period. I have a skipping rope at home that I'm very excited to kind of learn some tricks next year. I'm not mentioning like eating healthy or sleep, because I always eat healthy and I always sleep 8 hours, so I don't really need to improve on that. But keeping my house clean, I'm just going to kind of clean for 5 minutes every day to make sure that it stays clean, so that I don't have to later on do a big cleanup to like fix things. It's already just going to be by default always clean. The next thing is meditation. So I always feel better after I meditate, and it kind of lasts the whole day, but I just don't do it very much. So at least if I can practice some mindfulness on a daily basis, I think that will be very nice. And that's it. That's the list. 3 things. I have to do those 3 things every day. That's it. And you may be thinking, well, if you're going to be studying Japanese and doing meditation every day and have your travel consulting business and doing YouTube, where are you going to find the time for this, as well as the full-time job? Well, I've also kind of set up some things I have to do to give myself more time, and these include no internet. So I'm just not going to use the internet outside of like things I need to do in order to accomplish my goals. So like I will obviously use the internet to upload my videos to YouTube, or to like look up questions I have about Japanese or this kind of thing, but I'm not going to be using the internet as just to waste time, basically. I'm also not going to watch TV. And this isn't going to be, the internet is going to be difficult, but watching TV isn't going to be difficult because I don't have a TV at home. But sometimes I go to my parents' house and just sit there watching TV for hours. And I'm not going to do it anymore. Instead of kind of sitting down with my food and watching TV, I'm just going to say, oh, I'll go to the balcony instead. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to do to give myself more time is to read less. And I know that some of you may not have been expecting this, but this year I've read around 60 books, and that takes a lot of time. So I've kind of set myself the goal of reading a maximum of 25 books next year and not more. I'm still going to be kind of participating in my reading challenge of reading a book from every country in the world, but I'm not going to spend so much time reading, basically. So I really thought this video would be longer. I guess I expected to talk about them more, my goals, but you'll hear me talk about them next year a few times, so we're just gonna leave this video here. Do all of you have goals ready for 2021? If so, leave them in the comments. That's it. Bye.